Go to the movies, we don't want to see our pain and trauma on screen. We're going to the movies to get away from that. We do not want to see what we go through on the day-to-day. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Bird. And welcome back to Movie Madness. And today we will be recapping Candyman of 2021. As y'all seen, the last recap was Candyman that was 1992, the original Candyman. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. I'm gonna let Rashid start first.
I'm just lost for words. They destroyed that movie. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody. You know, I'm just stating my opinion. I don't think they did good.
I hope y'all got y'all drinks ready for this one.
They mixed that story up so bad.
So let's just start from the beginning because Rashid is being very, very vague about everything. You are. So let's start from the beginning. We get introduced to a very modern day of Chicago, which of course they cleaned up really good, really nice. It was nice back then. So yeah, we're just gonna start from there. They did kind of bring the concept back of, if you see how the first Candyman started, of like the overhead shooting of like the layout of Chicago, which was okay. I don't know if I have a clip, I'll put it right here. I can't remember if I got a clip. Yes, I was ghetto and was recording and taking pictures for this review. It was only us in the movie theaters. It was like five.
It was like nobody there.
Yeah, it was like 8 people and 8 people and we were 5. So the movie starts off like that. Then we get introduced to a character named Anthony. What was the girlfriend's name?
What is her name?
Let's get the girlfriend's name. One moment. Okay, so the girlfriend's name was Brianna. We had to do some quick research because we saw this movie about 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. It was just disappointing, so we couldn't even do the review on it because it was that disappointing. And this goes to any true horror fans, anybody who loves horror, anybody who loves Candyman in general. And don't get me wrong, we was let down on Candyman 3. We already know we was let down on Candyman 3, but this was a letdown.
I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even see Candyman 3.
It was trash.
Everybody said that it was corny, so I never even tried to go watch that thing. Like, I just stuck to the regular one.
If you want something that you could go to sleep on, that's one of them. It's not scary at all. So we get introduced to Brianna's brother Troy, Brianna's brother boyfriend named Clive, and Anthony. They're all in their apartment, their new apartment. And Brianna's apartment.
No, it was Brianna and Anthony. Don't try to sing them.
And the reason why I'm gonna say it was Brianna's apartment. Now, Rashid might have a different input on that. Sorry, my air fryer is going off. But yeah. So Brianna was the breadwinner, and Anthony was the starving artist boyfriend. So,
no, but he came. The thing is, he had some money, but he just couldn't sell his art because nobody liked his concept. Like, his concept didn't stick with a lot of people, so that's why he couldn't really make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. He was bringing in somewhat money, but he wasn't bringing in as much as her friends wanted. Starving artist. She didn't think of him like that, so
she did it.
Why should everybody else judge him though? Because that's not how she feel. If that's not fair. How she feel is how she feel about him. There shouldn't be nobody else's opinion. I mean, they shouldn't like keep hitting her with it because they was doing it all the time. You gotta understand.
Is that a world tour or your girl tour? I'm just saying.
It's alright.
Anyway, we ain't gonna go too deep into that. So Brianna's brother Troy says, let's tell spooky movies. Before the spooky movies, they were just talking about how, you know, Chicago got gentrified, you know, because white people
basically
came in and, you know,
Made it nice.
Made it nice and made, you know, other like wealthy people think that it was cool to come here. XYZ. We'll get more into that a little later. So Troy tells a scary story in regards to Candyman. It was such a letdown because if you know the story of Candyman, if you watch 1 and even number 2, it gets into the background of Candyman. How they try to make it sound, which I did not like, was they turned everything into race. Like everything was in regards to racism.
It wasn't. I don't think the first Candyman was like that. Like I didn't even really see any like racist anything, but they did say when that movie first came out that it was racism back then because he couldn't kiss the girl.
But we're not talking about that. Why would
they change it? No, I'm saying like, but though, like it was that way back then. But why would they today change it to make it as though it's about race when it wasn't back then? Being as though
they made a modern day Candyman, and I feel like they issued the film on what's going on today. And why I say that is because the story that was told in the beginning in regards to Candyman was that it was a guy in Capri Green who was the Candyman. They switched the Candyman up into making it sound like someone who was giving kids candy, right? So they did that, and then they made it sound like they said razor blades was popping up in kids' candy, and because a white kid was killed, they were looking for a black man, which was the Candyman, and his name was Sherman. Was it Sherman Oak or Sherman? We're gonna call him Big Sherman. Big Sherm. So he was living in the walls of Capri Green, which again, another letdown because they made it sound like something.
Let me put you on pause there though. Why would they come in the bathroom when a kid start yelling and then put the kid out and then that's when they kill him? Why would they do that? No, that was the beginning.
But you just moved past what I was saying. Anyway, Rashid just sped past what I was getting to.
Let's rewind.
So
rewind it.
Anyway, they said he was the Candyman was living in the bathroom of not the bathroom, the walls of Capri Green, and he was giving out candy. So these cops, white cops of course, was looking for this Candyman. Sorry y'all if I haven't seen it, this does contain spoilers because we recapping everything. So if y'all haven't known by the last 2 videos, we spoil shit, so just a fair warning. They say he was living in the walls of Capri Green, and pretty much the police killed him unjustly. Now, what made me mad was they made this Candyman live in the walls and have a hook for a hand, like literally.
Why would they do that?
It was just like they were like literally just shoving it in your face. It was no mystery behind it. Oh, this guy named Sherman, he went by Candyman with a hook on his hand. It really pissed me off.
It's crazy because why would he just... I don't know. They just didn't give no backstory on... I'm gonna call him a new character because
we got introduced to a new character,
it's not
and they just shoved them in our face. This Candyman Sherman.
And that's the thing. Like, I can't say that. I can't speak on the one from back then because the one from back then it can't tie into this. This is a whole new generation type of Candyman.
It doesn't, and I hate. If anything, they should have just made this Candyman a whole different type of Candyman, like a spin-off of something else.
They should have made it, like you said when you were speaking to me. They should have made it a Helen one,
a sequel to a Helen versus Candyman, because I feel like they're ruining what Candyman stood for. Well, they did ruin
the third one.
So let's go ahead and get into it. The brother tells the story in regards to Candyman, as we just told y'all, and Anthony gets very, very intrigued. He gets very intrigued. Brianna's like, bullshit. But as she's saying bullshit, she was scared.
She was scared.
You know, she kind of believed it and was hesitant. So, you know, the boyfriend and her brother leave, and Brianna makes a comment of, you know, maybe you need to start getting back to the art, because you broke. You're a starving artist. You're a starving artist. Get back to work.
Trying.
Get back to work. But no, Brianna is she's the person who looks at the art. She gets in an exhibits and things like that. So she's telling Anthony to get back to work because she's having her boss, whose name is, what's his name? Grady.
Yeah.
Grady was an asshole. He's straight up. Grady straight up.
It was rude.
He was very rude. So, because Anthony was very intrigued by the topic of Candyman and the story that Troy gave him, he did some more digging. Yeah. So his painting was based off of police brutality.
Yeah.
The painting was trash. So I agree with Grady 100%.
It was corny. I didn't like his paintings either.
It was trash.
But the fact that he tried to get somebody's story out there, that's why I think I say he at least tried. You know what I'm saying?
So this is the problem to me. He literally shoved police brutality in their face, and some people can't accept that. Some people believe that can't be true, or what? Like, they're in complete denial about it.
They act like it's not happening.
Right.
It do happen. You know what I'm saying? It do happen.
So Brady was not here for it. I just thought it was trash, but Brady wasn't here for it because of the backstory of police brutality. So he sits and he tells Brianna that, you know, they weren't here for the picture. So even still that they weren't here for the picture, she got it to be able to be in the art exhibit.
Yeah.
Now, the art exhibit, he now introduces the actual Candyman. Like, let's conjure him up.
For real.
Like, and he's like, this conjurer, did he say the conjurer kills people?
Yeah.
But let's conjure him anyway.
Ain't nobody want to do it. Everybody was looking at him like he was crazy. I don't know.
He said that it kills people, and he still wanted to conjure people up. So they get this in this art exhibit. For real. They get him in the art exhibit, and he has the mirror. When you open up the mirror, as everyone knows, since Candyman lived in the wall, and I thought that part was dope. Like, the paint, how he had it set up in the exhibit, he had a mirror. When you open the mirror, like a what is it called in the bathroom? A medicine cabinet.
Oh yeah, the medicine.
So when you open up the middle part of the medicine cabinet, he had his painting. Like, it had red light, but you could see his paintings of police brutality. I thought that was dope. Like, I thought that was awesome. Like, whoever thought of that was dope. So we get introduced to this new lady. She's one of the top bosses who look at people's paintings and things like that. And her name
she was rude too.
Was Finley.
She's rude too.
She
gave it to him straight up. Like, look.
And I would have straight up been getting arrested and charged with assault. Because she was very rude, and then she slick said, "You people," and he was like, "You people, wait, what?" And then she tried to play it off like, "You artist." She was not feeling the painting as well. She didn't believe anything about it. Now, everyone was walking around with the flyers of what certain paintings was, and when it came to his, it said, "Say his name," or say his name. Say my name. The piece was called "Say My Name." And it says on his painting, like, oh, say Candyman 5 times in the mirror, and you know, so
pop up there with you.
No one was feeling his painting at this place, so he's sitting there and he's getting like shit faced, and he's very disappointed, and he was mad, and so he went over there to Brianna. She's talking to some other bosses, and I believe they're her colleagues.
They rude too.
They were very rude, and I feel like he had the right to get upset, and I feel like
and say what he said. I think he had the right to say what he said because
they were talking
mad rude. They was talking like mad disrespectful to this dude. There's no point to treat people like that. Like if you don't like them, hey.
Basically they were saying like he's only in there because of his girlfriend's stature at her job. And I feel like it was wrong because his girlfriend didn't say nothing. She kind of got mad at him.
She didn't stick up for him at all.
Yeah. She got really upset with him instead of like putting these people in her place.
They supposed to be her friends.
I just feel
they knew each other like he knew their names. Like so I think they was like friends or probably other artists. I think they was other artists.
Well, I know it was the boss dude, Grady, and his girlfriend, and it was another guy, and I believe he was a boss or something. And I felt like it was wrong because in that moment, she let them down her boyfriend, and in order for her not to get in trouble, she kind of dealt with it. So that's another thing that they touched on was basically how much you deal with from because you're a woman, how much you deal with and put up with because you're African American type thing. So she kind of like in that moment did not stand up for herself or her partner because of I'm gonna get let go. They're gonna look at me the angry black woman. So they left the party.
That was wrong. Like I think that was so wrong. Like she could have said something. Like you can't. I mean. You can fire somebody for sticking up for your partner, but then again, that's against the law. Like you're not supposed to fire nobody because they speak up for their partner or something. But
that's what today's world. That's the point. Some of this movie, that's what we mean about they made everything have to do with today's society.
Yeah.
So
and that's why I say it's a whole different.
It's a whole different film. Yeah. And I think with this movie in today's world, I feel like because it's already like we get this so much, it wasn't needed. Yeah. They could have kept it to pure horror. So it wasn't needed. Now let's get into the nitty gritty.
I don't think
they're cleaning up.
I don't place it in a horror movie.
I don't. It wasn't. It was to me. It just wasn't needed. Like it added on to another trash Candyman. Yeah. It was not needed. So we're going to get into the nitty gritty. Basically, let me get the boss named Grady. Grady and his girlfriend is cleaning up. He's still discussing how Anthony pissed him off, things like that. So these guys are cleaning up and they want to get kinky. And she's like, "Hey, let's go ahead and say Candyman in the mirror because Anthony's art is still up." First, the dude, what is it, Grady? He's not into it at all. He's like, "What? No." Like, nah, so she's like, "What are you scared?" Like, you know, one of those
he really
old school
was
joints.
Scared. He was. Scared,
he didn't say it. The girlfriend said it.
But they both.
This is the first kill of the movie. And it left me in limbo. It didn't really give what I thought it was going to give. Because you were not able to see Candyman at all in this movie unless it was through a reflection. Yeah. It was not just straight up you saw Sherman, except for in the beginning.
I really didn't even. I mean,
everything was through the reflection, but I'm saying you never saw him kill no one straight up. Everything was through the reflection. Yeah. So this was the first kill. He kills the girlfriend first, then he kills the dude Grady. He brings him back to the picture and of course kills him. So Brianna walks in the facility the next morning. She's the one who finds the bodies. Anthony painting was all over the news and he did not give a damn.
No, he did not.
He did not give a damn that these two people died after conjuring Candyman at his art painting. He was more so happy that his painting was out there and that his name was out there.
They said his name. He was just like.
He was like.
He was laughing.
He was.
They was
having
looking
a good
at
old
him
time.
Like, he was crazy. They was because I would have been looking at him like, bro, is there something wrong with you?
So sorry y'all, CBD. the brother and the sister is looking at him like he's a complete psychopath because he's in awe about these people dying. Well, not about them dying, about his pain and being out there, that he didn't give two shits about, Grady and his girlfriend dying. And I guess he shouldn't give a shit because the night that they left off. Anyway. So we learned a background story on Brianna. Brianna is very she's in fear that Anthony is getting too involved with this Candyman story. Like, getting too deeply involved in interest in this story.
But he was, though.
He was. This dude went to the college to dig up Helen's old tape. As everyone knows, Helen was playing, she was recording everything in the original Candyman on, on a tape recorder. What pissed me off is, for one, it wasn't even Helen's voice. No. For two, it was telling a completely different story.
Exact. That's why it's a whole different movie.
A completely different story, y'all. Like, I'm like, this is not even what she said. This is not what took place. Nothing. Then they switched the story to basically say Helen went crazy, and Helen was actually Candyman. So basically, what they were trying to say is, for anyone who was technically killed unjust, or because technically Helen wasn't even killed unjust.
Hold up, time out. Did we get past the part when they was killing the kids?
No,
all right. I'm sorry. We gonna have to cut that.
Okay, so we get to the part where they're saying that everyone has a Candyman in them. So for all of these black men who was killed unjust, became a Candyman. This also pissed me off because we know it's only one Candyman. We know it's only one Tony Todd. In this movie, it was about 4 different Candymans. You had Tony Todd, you had Sherman Oak, it was another guy, and now they're turning Anthony into Candyman.
That is crazy.
I just was so...
No, but you know what? They tried to say Helen was Candyman.
Exactly. Which doesn't make any sense. So they were really switching this story up, and it was so frustrating because it was so confusing. Because bad. Like I said, they were turning in all of these unjust killings by white police officers into Candyman. And the guy William, I'm sorry I forgot to mention him. William is one of the people, is the little boy in the story who saw this Sherman guy, aka Candyman. Go ahead.
He saw him get killed.
He saw him get killed unjust. That is the first. That is the Candyman who got killed and turned into.
I don't know what this guy was. He was.
If you following us, it was really. I don't know what was going on.
What the fuck?
If y'all follow us, hit the like button because we confused. If y'all confused, hit the like button again. So we were very confused. So let's try to speed this up because a lot of this was just fillers. It was unnecessary, and it was just trying to fill you in any way they could to try to tie this story together, and it was horrible. So you get this.
I was just disappointed.
Yeah. So earlier in the movie, Anthony gets bit by a bee. Well, stung by a bee, I'm sorry. This bee sting turns into a whole tire infection.
Yo, this dude arm looked so nasty.
But
and he never took it in.
Can we just ask why he never went to urgent care, an ER, a primary care physician?
His hand was turning into bone.
It was turning into a honeycomb. It was so nasty and graphic. So for anyone who has that phobia of like holes, which I couldn't see either, so I guess I got that phobia because I can't. It looked so nasty. It went all the way from his hand all the way up to the whole side of his body. I believe it was like his right side of the body. It was disgusting.
It was the right.
I think it was the right side of his body. And he never went to the doctor. His hand is like getting more and more bad, like worse. Like every time you see him on the camera, you see it going up. It was disgusting. But we get introduced to that lady, Finley. I mean, I'm sorry, we don't get introduced to her. She gets on another scene. And after his painting became popular on the news, she's like, I'm interested. Can you tell me a little bit more? Interested. And he's like, oh, now you're interested because I'm on the news. So he tells Miss Finley, if you want to believe in my painting, you go in there and say Candyman. You go. And her dumb ass goes. Like, why? I'm like, why?
I wouldn't even have went.
She went, y'all. She went and conjured him up.
I would have told him, like, bro, did you not just see what happened on this news? You gonna tell me to do that? Like, is you crazy?
She was hesitant.
She should have. She was scared.
She was hesitant at first, but he was like, you know, pretty much called her a pussy if she did it.
So basically, he wasn't going to work with her if she didn't do it.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to do it. Like, he wasn't going to work with her.
So, she does that. Now, while she's in the bathroom, she has this big mirror in her hallway. At that time, you see Anthony morphing into this Sherman, well, his version of Candyman of himself. Now, I have no idea how they piece this into Anthony is going to be their saving grace, but that's why he became Candyman.
But why would he be Candyman
if
nothing happened to him in this movie?
It was just so...
I don't...
For anybody who
I'm sorry, I be having like a lot of thoughts going through my head at once. It'd be like I'd be thinking about this movie and then thinking about the parts in it. Like
it didn't make sense.
It don't add up into one because this Candyman, this whole new Candyman, all of this was supposed to be through police brutality, right?
That's what it was coming to. Well, yes.
And that's where my question picks up at, though, because it's like, he never was a part of police brutality, so why would he be Candyman?
So, here we go.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to stop myself on that one.
So, Anthony goes to the hospital. He goes to a hospital over in the South Side, and he gets his, hand all... wrapped up or whatever. Yeah. And the nurse walks back in. She said, well, welcome back. He's like, what do you mean welcome back? I was never here. She said, oh, you was born over here. He's like, no. My mom said I was born over here. She's like, no, you were born here. So then he goes and visits his mom. Lo and behold, his mom is Anna Mae from the first one.
That's the only
Anne Marie.
thing.
I'm sorry, Anne Marie.
That's the only thing that tied into the first Candyman.
This is the only thing. So he was the baby that was kidnapped in the first Candyman. And so mom tells him the story. He went to say Candyman. She said, oh no, we not having it. Don't ever say that. I'm putting the picture right here.
All them hand gestures like, please don't say that.
Yeah, she was not having that. Don't say that man name in my house. It was like giving like that was your daddy. Like don't ever bring him up.
For real.
Type of joint. Like no. So he's upset. Oh, you didn't tell me. He storms out. Of course, whatever. So
like a girl like that. Like
he goes back to the apartment. Brianna's looking at his paintings. Now his paintings, he did paint all of these Candymans, and in the painting you see Tony Todd. Yeah. So she's like, hey, he comes in. She's like, what is this? Like, you're going crazy. And at that time, right here, he's trying to explain to her, like, hey, Candyman is real. Sorry I burnt you into this, whatever. She's trying to convince him, hey, Candyman is not real. So she tries to say his name in the mirror, and he breaks the mirror. She said, oh hell no, I'm out of here. That's it.
I mean,
it was borderline abuse.
He said no, that wasn't abuse. He was saving her life.
Technically,
he was saving her life. That's all he was doing.
Yeah,
because he already see what's happening to himself. So he didn't want her to die like they did because he know that.
And I just want to put out there that it was like real GTA graphics when they was like trying to act like Anthony was turning into Candyman. It was terrible graphics right there.
The graphics was trash.
It looked like straight computerized, like it was horrible. But Brianna's backstory is that her dad was a starving artist who basically he went crazy and he killed himself in front of her. So that is her fear, that Anthony is going crazy, and she does not want that from him because she will want that for him because she was a first-hand eyewitness of seeing what something like this could do to someone. She goes over her brother's house, and then her brother is letting her know how he really feel, and basically was like, he ain't shit, he ain't working, he shouldn't be.
He don't want him to be with him.
Yeah, so,
basically. Well, he didn't want her to be with him.
Right. So, she comes back the next day, she's coming to get her stuff, whatever. But she's like, I haven't heard from him. So she's more concerned. The brother is like, whatever, get your stuff, let's go. She goes down to William's store. William, again, is the kid of the story of Candyman. So he kidnaps her. He takes her to this abandoned church where he said he was baptized. Like, we don't care, sir. I'm sorry we don't care about your baptism.
He was crazy.
He was crazy. So he's like...
He was a crazy dude. Like,
we get to the bottom of the story. Basically, William was trying to make the dude Anthony into Candyman. He wanted that unjust kill.
No, he didn't want to. He made him into Candyman.
Well, yeah. He wanted that unjust kill from the police because he's like, they're not going to come in here and ask questions. They're going to see him with the hook and know that he's the person who's been killing all of these people, and they're going to kill him without asking any questions. At this time, Anthony is in a complete trance, and he don't know what he's doing. He was like, it was just so disgusting, his skin. So that bite made his whole body again into a honeycomb. So dude, William, saws off his arm and put a hook in his arm. It was horrible, y'all. And like I said, it wasn't really graphic.
You didn't see, like, they showed you, I think they showed it after he shoved it in his arm.
No, he put like something over it. But before we get past,
he did.
Before we go too fast, Candyman was killing kids, y'all.
And this one,
he was killing kids. They was trying to make him like real ruthless. And I just want to be honest. All of his kills were white people, and I thought like
hold on, what it was?
All of his kills.
No, he had the black girl that was with the white guy.
Who?
The black girl, the black boss girl. Wasn't she black?
She was white. Finley was white. So all of his kills.
About the one that got killed inside the. They was white.
Listen, all of his kills were white, but he did kill 2 African Americans when he was the Sherman Candyman back in the day. So I'm talking about present time with Anthony's. All of his kills were white. It was about 4 girls and about 5 of them. That one of the girls went to the art exhibit, so she's like, "Hey, you guys heard about the Candyman? Let's go ahead and say his name."
He tore them up in that bathroom.
He tore these little kids up. They was in high school. Now, one girl was very smart. She said, "Let me get the going." She heard a little thunder and lightning. She was like, "I know, girls." So they were like, "Oh, forget her," and the 4 girls continue on to do it. These girls were murdered gruesomely, but you don't see it. You do not see it because, again, all of the kills happened off camera. The only one that happened on camera was Finley, and you did not see him. It was more so like you could just see her floating. So everything was off camera. I don't know why that was. Everything was completely off camera. So anyway, move forward. We're back to the situation with Anthony. Dude makes Anthony Candyman at this point, I'm like, is Candyman even real? Because you just literally made your own Candyman.
He just made a whole new breed.
He made a whole Candyman on his own. So the police come or whatever. Brianna escapes because he wanted Brianna to see firsthand what will happen. Brianna escapes and he's looking for her. He's running all through the new Capri Green that was shut down or whatever. And Brianna ended up getting the upper hand. She kills William. And then Anthony found her some way, somehow. And lo and behold, William was right. You hear the sirens and she's saying help in here. And they come in. Mind you, Anthony is in her lap, half dead. Pretty much.
And
he come in and the police officer comes in and literally shoots him. No questions, no freeze, put your hands up, nothing. He just shoots him. Literally, he's in her lap. He's in her lap. Dying. Like, and they shoot him for no apparent reason. So I'm assuming that this movie is literally about technically police brutality and what take place in today's society, you know, how things work. And I'm not going to get too much into it. If you know, you know. But yeah, that's what happened. He puts Brianna in the car. He basically tells Brianna, you know, this is what you say or you'll go down as an accomplice. So he's telling her, you know, it could go this way. It could be one or two stories. You were killing with him, or, you know, Anthony flinched at the cop and he was murdered. At this time, Brianna tells her, I'll say whatever you want. Let me see my reflection in the mirror. So I'll put a picture right here, well, a video right here of what took place. At this time, she conjures Candyman herself for the very first time, and Anthony starts slaying all the police officers. Again, I'm gonna put the video right here. He slays all the police.
It's crazy because I actually liked that part. It was like a little bit of action for me.
Right.
I mean,
this is the most action, the most slayings that you see on camera.
That's you ain't even really see that on camera, but
you did. You see some.
I mean, I'm not saying that you didn't see none, but it's not as much as I would like to see in a horror movie. It's a goddamn horror movie, for Christ's sake. Yeah, so dude, the last cop standing is in the car with Brianna. He's like, what is going on? So I'll put this video up right here of Anthony just walking, swarming the car. And when I say swarming, I mean swarming. He was a face full of bees. It don't even make any sense.
A face full of bees, y'all. A face full of bees. I just didn't understand what was going on here. So the cop jumps out the car. He tries to run away. Brianna gets out of the car, and she hears Candyman killing him. And at this point,
that was off camera.
That kill was kind of off camera, yes. It's other sirens, other cops coming, and Anthony is walking towards her. At this time, another swarm of bees and a computerized Tony Todd.
It wasn't even...
He had so much makeup on this man. We all know he old as shit at this point. We know that. Why are y'all trying to have him look like he did in the first one? And he says, in the real Tony Todd voice, tell everyone. Sir, it's all of these cop bodies. Who I'm gonna tell in jail? Like, we don't care.
No, he let her go. She was getting
He let her go, but it was other cops coming. So what was going to happen?
They didn't know if who was all in that place.
Listen. It was given Candyman 3, the Candyman that showed up at the end. I understand y'all wanted to, pay homage to Tony Todd. That was not the way to do it.
Nah.
That was not the way to do it.
As
Anthony was walking, swarming around the car, it showed at least 4 different Candymans. And I'm like, where did they come from? Who are they? All of these were the unjust kills. So the conclusion of this video is that this Candyman was trash. What's your rate? Go ahead and let them know. What is your rate? One.
I don't like. The only part I like is when he killed all the cops.
I'm gonna give it.
I like it. I like that part because it was just action being done. Like there was just a lot of action in that one.
I'm gonna give it a -1, a -0. I'm so upset. I am a true horror fan, and that was not the move. It was not the move. They should have just made a Helen sequel, and did something real decent with Helen's character.
But not this.
This was not the move. I am so sorry, Jordan Peele. I was a fan of Get Out. I wasn't a fan of Us, and it seems like you brought Us to them because this Candyman is trash. What is your problem?
I don't know. I never seen Us.
Listen, we could get if we could get back to the roots of actual horror instead of trying to make everything so modern and stop trying to make things what today's society is based on. When we go to the movies, we don't want to see our pain and trauma on screen. We're going to the movies to get away from that. We do not want to see what we go through on the day to day. We want to have an escape. So I just feel like this was not needed. This was not needed. All right, y'all. So our next recap is going to be on Joyride, the first one, of course, with Paul Walker.
That's my man, Paulie.
So we're going to be doing that. So again, the rating is a 0 negative for Candyman. If you want to go to see Candyman, go on a matinee like we did. We only paid $5 to see it because I would have been mad if I paid like 10 plus.
$5 movies somewhere. We got one out here.
Yeah, I would have been really mad if I paid more than $5 to see that. It was a complete letdown. And yeah, I did not enjoy it. So a movie that we will be reviewing when it comes out, which is going to be coming out pretty soon. I'm going to put it right here. Halloween Kills. We will be going to see that on a matinee because we cheap like that. Yeah. We're going to go see that when it's very cheap. But we will be going to see that and reviewing that. But next up will be Joyride. So again, thank you for tuning in to Movie Madness. I'm Bird.
And this is She.